The mystery of the blue carbuncle. It was a cold winter morning, and the snow was falling softly outside. Sherlock Holmes sat by the fire, his eyes focused on a strange object, a dirty, old hat. I sat down beside him, feeling curious. What could this hat mean? Was it connected to a crime? Or was it just a simple object with no real story? But Holmes, as always, was not interested in the simple answer. He loved finding mysteries in the most unexpected places. And today, he had something interesting for me. "Do you want to solve a mystery, Watson?" he asked, his eyes sparkling with excitement. I nodded, eager to hear what he had to say. He pointed at the hat on the chair. "Take a close look at this hat," Holmes said. "What do you think it can tell us? Can you guess what happened next? Think carefully. This is a mystery for you to solve too. Keep an eye on the details as we go through the story. You might be able to solve it before Holmes does." On Christmas morning, Peterson, the commissioner, found a man in the street. The man was carrying a big white goose, and he seemed to be in trouble. A group of attackers tried to take the goose from him. In the fight, one of the attackers knocked off the man's hat. The man tried to defend himself with a walking stick, but he accidentally broke a shop window. Peterson, seeing what was happening, rushed to help. But when the man saw him, he thought Peterson was a policeman and ran away. The attackers also ran, leaving behind the goose and the hat. Now, here's the mystery for you. Why would someone run away and leave behind a goose? Was it just because of the fight, or was there something more to it? What is the connection between the goose and the hat? The goose was a special one. On its leg was a small card with a name, Mrs. Henry Baker. Inside the hat, there were initials, HB. Holmes smiled at me. "You see, Watson," he said, "this is not a simple hat and goose. This is a puzzle." I looked at the hat carefully. It was old, dirty, and worn. There were spots on it that had been covered with black ink, and inside, I could see the initials HB. What did this all mean? Can you figure out anything from this hat, Watson? Holmes asked. "What do you think we can learn from these small clues? What do you think? Can you guess more about the man who owned the hat? Look closely at the details. Maybe you can solve the puzzle before Holmes does." Holmes took the hat and examined it carefully. "This man is intellectual," Holmes said, "and he used to have money, but now he doesn't. His wife doesn't love him anymore, and he's been drinking too much." I looked at him, confused. "How can you know all of that from just a hat?" I asked. Holmes smiled. "It's all in the details. The hat is old, but it was once expensive. It hasn't been replaced in years, which tells us he doesn't have much money anymore. The ink spots show he's trying to hide something, and the gray hairs on the inside tell me he is middle-aged, with gray hair that has been cut recently." "But how do you know about his wife?" I asked. Holmes pointed at the dust on the hat. "This dust is not from the street," he said. It's the soft dust from inside a house. This man doesn't go out much, and if his wife lets him leave the house with a hat like this, it means she doesn't care about him anymore. Just when I thought the mystery was solved, Peterson returned. "Mr. Holmes, the goose," he cried, looking completely shocked. "The goose is back. It has returned to life." Holmes was quick to respond. "Look here," he said, holding up a shiny blue stone. "This is no ordinary stone. It is a diamond, a very valuable one." I couldn't believe it. "Is it the famous blue carbuncle?" I asked. "Yes, Watson, it is," Holmes said with a smile. "This is the same diamond that was stolen from the Countess of Morca." Holmes showed me a newspaper article about the robbery at the Hotel Cosmopolitan. A man named John Horner, a plumber, had been arrested for stealing the diamond. But Horner said he was innocent. "Do you see, Watson?" Holmes said, "The goose, the hat, and the diamond. They are all connected." Holmes explained how he solved the puzzle. The man who had the hat and the goose was trying to make peace with his wife, Mrs. Henry Baker. The diamond had somehow ended up inside the goose. And the connection to the robbery. The man was innocent, but he was caught up in a crime he didn't commit. It all started with a dirty old hat and a goose. Holmes said, "Sometimes the smallest clues lead to the biggest mysteries."
So what do you think? Can you see how the little details led to the solution? The hat, the goose, and the diamond. Each one told a story, and together they solved the mystery. Now it's your turn. When you face a mystery, remember that the smallest clues can be the most important. Do you think you could have solved this one on your own? Let me know in the comments if you guessed the solution before Holmes did. If you enjoyed this mystery, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting adventures with Sherlock Holmes.